Hey there everyone, Jake Sirota here, and welcome back to this week's episode of Authority Builders Ranking Secrets. Today, we're going to be talking about what makes content easy for AI to use as answers, and why most content isn't used as AI answers. So, make sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned to learn more about how you can get your content cited in AI overviews. So again, today we're talking about what makes content easy for AI to use it as an answer. And I want to be very clear up front. This is not some brand new SEO concept or cheat code. AI really didn't reinvent or invent new rules. It just exposed what content was actually useful all along. So again, this is not new SEO. There's a lot of people talking about AI SEO as if it's a completely new discipline. And it's not, at least from my observations. What's happening is way simpler than that. AI systems are just better at surfacing content that was already useful for people and search engines. Clear answers, structured explanations, and actionable takeaways. So if your content was hard to read or hard to understand or hard for search engines to find, it's still going to be like that for LLMs. So just chunking your content is not some sort of magic cheat code for LLMs to prefer your website, but making sure your content is fresh, updated, and easy for humans and robots to understand is going to be how you continue to get cited in AI answers. Let's talk about what the data actually shows when it comes to content that gets cited in AI answers. Ahrefs has actually looked at this pretty closely, and in their recent AI visibility and content studies, they found that content that performs well in AI answers are the same ones that historically earned links and engagement. So things like list-based concepts, step-by-step guides, real case studies, definitions, explanations, comparison style pages, not because they're optimized for AI, but because they are easy to understand and easy for AI to reference. So that's an important distinction whenever we're talking about pages that succeed and pages that fall into oblivion. All right, so let's talk a little bit more specifically about why listicles and comparison articles and things like that actually work. Specifically listicles, people love to dunk on them, but there's a reason that they keep surviving when it comes to SEO content. They're structured, they're scannable, and they separate ideas very clearly. And for AI systems and for search engines alike, that is gold. A list gives clear boundaries between points, and each item can stand on its own. Each one can be summarized without losing context, and it makes it easier for these systems to digest the information. So again, this is not gaming the system. This is just good communication and good structuring of content. Now, whenever you're structuring content for AI, something else you need to keep in mind is that actionable beats clever or cheat codes all the time. Whenever it comes to creating content that AI likes, you need to make sure that you're giving actionable advice. It's not just keyword stuff content that answers questions vaguely with no follow-up. It's real content that answers people questions. Why does this work? How does this apply to this? Ahrefs have shown that sites that are earning consistent citations and mentions tend to be the ones that people actually use and engage with, not just the ones that are ranking on Google search. So AI mirrors that behavior. If your content is being used as a way for these AI systems to make their decisions, they're going to feel more confident to recommend you. That's why creating clear, structured content is always going to be a great strategy to position yourself as an authority online, whether that's for AI systems, search engines, or real humans who are just popping around your website. All right, so now that we've learned a little bit about what is working or still working when it comes to structuring content, let's talk about why most content fails. And most content honestly fails for one very old reason. It was written to rank, or what people think will rank, and not to explain or actually add value. There's long intros, soft language, ideas that are just buried under SEO padding, or no real ideas at all. So that worked whenever ranking was the finish line, but now ranking number one is not number one anymore. you need to be recommended in AI overviews as well as ranking #1 to get the most valuable traffic to your website. So now you might be asking yourself, okay, Jake, well, what do I do differently and how do I not chase these trends? Well, that's a very good question. And if you want your content to continue to be usable, don't ask, how do I optimize this more for AI? That's the wrong question. You need to ask, is this answer obvious? Is this content structured? Is it clean? Could someone quote this without having to completely rewrite it? Write it? That's what people are looking for. And more importantly, that's what AI answers are looking for to give to people. So if the answer to those questions is yes, whenever you're talking about your content, you're probably already doing what AI prefers. No hype required. But that being said, double down on what works. Look at your Google Search Console, look at analytics, and look at your top performing content and repeat those same steps whenever you're creating new content so that you can focus your content efforts on things that people and AI overviews or search engines are actually going to find valuable. So let's do a quick recap of this week's episode so far. It's pretty straightforward, guys. Content that AI uses is structured, specific, actionable, and easy to reference. And again, that's not a new shiny object that you should be chasing. You should be doing this if you haven't been already. So again, just good content finally being rewarded. And the most important thing is to keep track of your first-party data so that you know what's working for your audience specifically. All right, well, that just about does it for this week's episode of Authority Builders Ranking Secrets. And remember, if AI visibility feels confusing, well, it's supposed to be. Things are changing a lot. But also remember that content strategy drifted away from clarity. So if you fix that, it won't be as confusing to get your content ranking in AI overviews and in search engines alike. I hope that all makes sense. If you have any questions, make sure to drop a comment below, hit like and subscribe, and we'll see you next week. Cheers.